What up, y'all? So I just wanted to make this video because I've been wanting to make it for quite a while, actually. And what I wanted to kind of explain is kind of the energies and sort of the, ups and downs of going through this whole process of closing my first real estate transaction, period. Now, I just recently got my real estate license, but this wasn't necessarily me being a realtor and everything like that. This was called wholesaling. I'll kind of get into detail a little bit. I want to make a separate video on that. But at the same time, I actually want to just kind of break down what I went through and kind of just how this all came together and everything like that. So, long story short, wholesaling is basically when you're going through data, you're cold calling, which if you don't know what cold calling is basically just when you call people out of the blue and you can get all sorts of responses at that point. So basically, I have a person who I work with in California, shout out to Michael. He basically pulls data, he calls them, and then basically he'll send this information to me. And basically, we meet basically just through networking, and you going into local Facebook groups, typing in wholesale and real estate, wherever city or county you're in, and then you could begin to start networking with people and everything like that. Now, when we start to get into this process, basically what was happening is that we were dealing with a property that had people already renting out the property. There was already tenants in the house. Now, based upon the circumstances, this was actually an inherited property, and it had already gone through the whole probate process, and not the probate process, but it was a life estate. And if y'all understand and are deep into real estate, y'all know when you have a life estate, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, that means that you can avoid the whole probate process, period. So that means that there's no time, there's no extra time needed to go through that process, and then we can make the sale on the transaction. Everything was good to go on that. Looked at the house, wasn't able to really meet with the particular owner of the house. My partner Michael was kind of settling those kind of coordinations. So basically, my goal was to communicate with these people who were renting the house out, tell them what was going on, and then after viewing the house and seeing what needed to be done as far as certain whatever it may be, dated kitchen, bad roof, all that stuff. This particular property needed all of that. It was a whole flip. So basically, I look at the house, go back to my partner Michael. I say, hey man, we need to be at this number. So I'm like, great. And I told him the number. So we proposed the number to the owners of the house, and they accepted the offer, which was great. That was already a great step in the right direction. Now the next step in this process is finding a investor. More in this particular instance. Now it could be any kind of particular buyer criteria, if you will, first time home buyer, whatever, person trying to flip, person trying to buy the property, rent it out, all that good stuff. In this case, it was a flip. So we had to find somebody, and we had to network with people. So basically, yeah, that's the whole thing that with wholesaling is that you're basically the middleman. So you're bringing things together, and you're basically paid for you actually going and doing the boots on the ground and actually doing the work to see the property, evaluate, do all that stuff. And then the person that you're proposing this property to, the investor, home buyer, whatever, is kind of just getting the property brought to them without having to do any legwork. And then we get paid our fee based upon our legwork, and we can actually control the whatever percentage of the actual sales price of the property and everything. That's all negotiable and everything. So, but the meat and potatoes of this thing is that dealing with tenant problems. So now, I'm not going to go into too detail because, I'm not trying to really put out people's business like that, even though I'm not going to say people's names regardless. At the same time, it was just a situation where these people didn't have nowhere to go like that. We had to figure something out. Luckily, me and my partner were able to put our heads together, pause, and then be able to fucking make that shit happen. You know what I'm saying? We were able to make that shit happen. We were able to secure a place with them, secure the, cash for keys deposit for another place to be secured while trying to find another place. You know what I'm saying? We were able to take care of that for them. It was a pain in the ass. It was a big pain in the ass because and another thing, and I'm explaining these things because I'm explaining to you the realities of real estate investing. If y'all ever decide to join that realm, you know what I'm saying, or not, I shouldn't say join that realm, but if you ever decide to participate in the world of real estate, these are the things that you need to expect. Sometimes things fall through. Sometimes contracts fall through. For example, we had to bring 3 different buyers. We had one buyer who said they were a buyer but was actually playing the role of what I am, the wholesaler. So that's just like, bro, just get the fuck out of here. Second person was originally committed, but then they couldn't put down the deposit for the house and everything, which is like, bro, what the fuck? Like, we have this shit in writing and everything like that. So boom, that's out the door. Keep looking. Eventually find somebody who was legit, and they were able to show this is real estate lingo, the proof of funds, which a proof of funds is just what it sounds like, the proof that you can buy said property. So with that being said, you need to do your due diligence. When you decide to invest yourself in this realm, if you ever decide to and everything like that, whoever's interested in real estate, these are the things that you have to expect. You got to vet, you got to kind of interview people, you know what I'm saying, in a sense. Seeing if they're qualified, seeing if they're legit. Anyway, besides the point, we were able to secure somebody. Boom, finally. Awesome. So then, we eventually along the line, we find out some extra things. We find out some good stuff about the property. When I say good stuff, stuff that we thought needed to probably be replaced or repaired, but didn't need to be replaced and repaired. In this case, the electrical, the wiring. Which in Florida, I don't know how other states are, but you need to be having copper wire. Can't have aluminum wiring in your house and everything. That shit needs to be updated. But anyway, so boom, long story short, finally got everything situated, was able to give the key to the new buyer of the property, and I got paid our finder's fee, and we were able to fucking get a step in the right direction. And I'm mainly using this to like promote myself and also promote my real estate agent hat that I wear not from time to time, but this is my career, so I mean really just the hat of real estate is being worn at all times. So I just really wanted to share my story. I really wanted to share this testimony because, at the same time, there's astrological synchronicities too. You know what I'm saying? And it could just be coincidence because this is something that's been 2 years in the making. I've definitely been grinding, definitely been hustling, trying to make this happen. But what I will say is that, just a little bit about me, I have Pisces rising, so that means my 8th house is Libra. So with Libra being in my 8th house, this is the zodiac energy season that we were going through. We're in Scorpio season now, that we were going through when I was having all of this manifest for me, and also for my business partner and everything like that. So that's pretty dope because of the synchronicity of the 8th house, which when you deal with the 8th house, one of the archetypes that come from the 8th house is other people's resources. Other people's resources deals with real estate. So the fact that it was successful and the sun was transiting into my 8th house, that was already like a mapping system of like me putting my foot in the right direction and playing the energy out, as above, so below. So I really just wanted to make this video, like I said, share my testimony, inspire y'all, and don't apply this to just like real estate. I mean, this really, like, when it comes to like going through hardships, you got to apply this to anything that you're going through. If you're a musician, you got to deal with difficult people booking gigs and stuff like that. You got to deal with certain people maybe not showing up to practice and shit like that. You got to deal with all sorts of hurdles and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So if you own a business, you got to worry about, is someone going to show up to work or not? Or if someone has a certain particular pattern, you can kind of expect someone to just not show up, so you can just prepare yourself instead of knowing it and then getting upset because it happened. So I don't know. That's just something to keep in mind. So yeah, I'm gonna catch y'all later, and yeah, more videos coming soon. Peace.